प्रभु तेरी लीला अपरंपार। अखंड ब्रह्मांड रचे सब तेरे। अखंड ब्रह्मांड रचे सब तेरे। को न पावत पार रे। प्रभु तेरी लीला अपरंपार रे। अब जरा इसमें देखिए, इरादे देखिए।
Did you try the meditation at home?
Welcome everyone. Sorry, I'm cutting you short.
That's okay, we'll continue with that.
We'll continue that conversation shortly.
Hi everyone.
So, welcome Zed, welcome John. Oh, not hearing us? Oh, beg your pardon everyone, my microphone stops working as soon as I try to talk to you. No, it's all on.
Can you hear us now, Surendra?
I hope, can everyone online hear? Okay, well. No, it's just unmuted, so let's just use this. That's a good point. Yep, it's this one. I'm just asking them if they can hear. What about Gulshan? Can you hear Gulshan?
Okay.
Well, so shall we ditch these microphones and go with this one? Let's do that.
Thank you for your patience, Zed, while we...
Yeah. Hi everyone, apologies for the...
Something is coming now.
Are you able to hear?
No, what's on your screen?
Hi, can you hear us?
No.
Can you hear us now? Okay. What about Lynn? Can you hear Lynn?
No.
What about now? Can you hear me? So, Surendra, have you got a solution there? If we...
Just give me a second. Okay, use the other microphone version, the one you're using.
Okay.
And then put these microphones on. Can you speak?
Yep. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Great. Okay.
And can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. We are back.
Welcome everyone. Sorry about that. We had a little microphone glitch. We like to have a different technical problem each week just to keep us on our toes. So I've got a nice meditation planned. We will go through what we are. So the plan is to try to disassociate ourselves with our mental ideas of what we are and reassociate ourselves with what we are inside, which is our spirit. And in a moment, Gulshan will explain a bit more how to do that. And we did it with you last week, Zed. We went through the realization process, and we're going to reacquaint you with that and acquaint anyone who hasn't done that before with that process. So Gulshan will explain it in a minute. Plus, we do have a video of the founder of Sahaja Yoga, Shri Mataji, Devi, who will take us through that realization online on video. It takes about 10 minutes, but it's always very nice to go through with her doing that realization process where we connect to our spirit. The second part of the session will be, we will try to, in the light of that awakening that we've reacquainted and acquainted ourselves with, we'll see the state of our own being and try to bring ourselves more into the present and more between the thoughts and the identifications we have, which are other than what we really are. So I won't talk too much more about that, but Gulshan, would you like to explain our internal system via this map that we've got, or however you would like to?
Certainly happy to. So this internal system, this meditation, and Zed, this is, it may be some bits may be repetitive for you, but some bits, there's always something new to pick up, so bear with us, and then we'll go through the realization as Lynn mentioned, so that's always good to do that. So just briefly about the subtle system, and this meditation, as you can see, was the lady in the picture was started by Shri Mataji Devi in 1970, and it was about, as Lynn mentioned, connecting with our internal being. The outside, there's a lot of reactions and thoughts and behavioral patterns that are going on, but the solution is within us. Inside.
Up your volume a bit,
okay, I'll talk a bit louder. Thank you, Surrender. So the solution is actually within us. And it's very easy because the mothering energy within us, the Kundalini, each one of us is born with that mothering energy. And she resides in the triangular bone. Thank you, Lynn. That would be great. And she resides in the triangular bone within us. That's called the sacrum bone. So the Greeks call that. And people have noticed that that was one of those bones that took the longest to, when they tried to burn it, it was the longest that took. So there was something special about it. And that mothering energy that's within us can be. Yes, it is. And so each one of us has this mothering energy, and it is only through Sahaja Yoga and through Shri Mataji that we can awaken it, and awaken it effortlessly. It's done within a few minutes. In the past, it took people years to go into the mountains and work on the chakras, the energy centers. Those are the wheels on our subtle system. They also mark our evolution within humanity. So we sort of, came as bacteria, and then amoeba stage, and then we turned to food, nourishment, as we worked our way up, and then we came up to being collective, expressing our feelings, and at the moment we're humanity sort of on the sixth chakra, the chakra where we need to be able to forgive. It's a very, very important place where we are at, but more importantly, where we go from here, which is on the seventh chakra. And that is where is our next step forward in evolution, which is to awaken or come through the seventh chakra, let the Kundalini rise through the seventh chakra. And that chakra, the reason why it's so important is because it allows our connection to divinity, to the cosmic energy that manages this world. And it also allows for a Kundalini to come through. And once it makes the connection, it allows us and our chakras within us and our subtle system to be nourished. So if there's a problem in our chakra, which we feel on our fingertips, because each of our fingertips are connected to those chakras, you can feel them on your fingertips, and then you know where there is a problem within me, inside my subtle system, and then you learn to work on that problem. Also, our personalities, we all have certain personalities within us due to our family backgrounds or the kind of work we do. Some of us are quite organized, quite motivated, and very confident. Some of us are slightly on the quieter side, the introverts and the extroverts, so to speak. But when that goes to an extreme, that is not correct or right behavioral pattern. So the idea is to come into balance, where you're aware of your feelings, your empathy, and you're still able to express love, but we are not in the negative or the excessive side of that left side, which is to do with depression. Is the sound okay?
Hold your microphone in your hand. Because the microphone, okay.
Okay. And on the right side, is that okay? Great. Thank you and for your patience, everyone. And on the right side, it's to do with being confident and being organized. But when that goes to an extreme, that's when people tend to become quite aggressive and dominating. And that's slightly unpleasant side of a personality, and you don't want to be there. So to be in balance is where you learn to, and this is where Lynn will show us that, is to release the negative energy from a left side and right side and come into balance. And that is also possible when we can escape our ego, which is at the front, and the superego at the back. And that forms those two balloons, the yellow balloon and the blue balloon on our head. And what they do is they cover up our head, and so we are stuck, a bit like in a pressure cooker, getting heated up and getting worked up. But when the Kundalini rises, she sucks the pressure away from the ego and the superego and comes through it, and that is when we can rise above our reactions, our worries, our fears, our anger, our depression, and allow the Kundalini to take us away from all of that mess that we find ourselves in, to be in a state of mental stillness. And that is where the meditation takes place. And this is very easy and effortless, and we'll let Shri Mataji take us through that.
So should we do that? Yeah.
Thank you, Lynn. So please, if you could take your shoes off, that's the only thing we ask you to do, and be very comfortable when we, as we go through the process. So Shri Mataji might guide us to place our hands on various parts of our body on the left-hand side, and we'll just follow the instructions. And Zed, this is quite useful to do it again, because it just reaffirms the qualities of our chakras within
So I'll
us.
make it full screen so we can see it here as well. So
now, put your left hand towards me, comfortably. Put your feet apart from each other. And now, put your right hand on your heart and close your eyes. Here you have to ask me a very important question. In your heart, you ask me a question as you would ask a computer. You can call me Shri Mataji or Mother, whatever you like. Mother, am I the spirit? Ask the question. In your heart, not loudly. 3 times, ask in your heart, not loudly. Mother, am I the spirit? You have to only ask in your heart. If you are the spirit, you become your own guide, You become your own master, you become your own guru. So now take down your right hand into the upper portion of your abdomen on the left hand side. And here you have to ask another question 3 times, not loudly, in your heart. Mother, am I the spirit? Mother, am I my own master? Mother, am I my own master? Ask this question 3 times. Am I my own master? I have told you that I respect your freedom and the pure knowledge cannot be forced on you. So please take your right hand in the lower portion of your abdomen and say it 6 times, asking me, Mother, please give me pure knowledge. I cannot force on you. You have to ask in your free will. As soon as you ask for the pure knowledge, the Kundalini starts moving upward. So now we have to nourish the higher centers with our self-confidence. Raise your right hand in the upper portion of your abdomen. Press it hard on the left hand side. And here with full confidence you have to say 10 times in your heart, not loudly. Mother, I am my own master. Please say this 10 times. Mother, I am my own master. I told you at the very outset that the greatest truth about you is that you are not this body, you are not this mind, you are not these conditionings, emotions, nor this ego, but you are the spirit, you are the pure spirit. So now raise your right hand onto your heart and ask here, or say with full confidence 12 times, Mother, I am the spirit. Just say it without any hesitation. Say it 12 times, please. For your information, you have to know that a divine power is the source of knowledge, is the ocean of knowledge, is the ocean of love. It is the ocean of peace and ocean of bliss. But above all, it is the ocean of forgiveness. So you cannot commit any mistake which cannot be dissolved by the power of this ocean of forgiveness. So please raise your right hand in the corner of your neck and your shoulder. Push it back as much as possible and turn your head to your right. And with full confidence, Please say 16 times. Full confidence in your heart. Mother, I am not guilty at all. All right? As I told you before, that you have to forgive everyone. And those who say it is difficult, they must know that it is a myth whether you forgive or don't forgive. But if you don't forgive, then you play into the wrong hands and get yourself tortured by yourself. So please forgive. In general, everyone, not counting how many people you have to forgive, what you have to forgive, but just say, by raising your hand and putting it on top of your forehead across, putting down your head as much as possible, resting on your hand. Please say, with an open heart, please say, Mother, I forgive everyone. Please say it. Please say, otherwise it is difficult later on for me. I have to clear out everybody's agya and it takes too much time then. So best is to say it from your heart. After all, you are not going to miss your self-realization for that. Now, take back your right hand on the back side of your head and put your head on it, resting on it, upward. Here you have to say for your own satisfaction, O Divine, if I have done any mistakes, please forgive me. But don't feel guilty. Don't count your mistakes. Don't think about them. In general, you have to say, O Divine, please forgive me if I have done any mistakes or anything wrong, anything against you. Now, stretch your palm. Stretch your palm and put the center of your palm on top of the fontanelle bone area, which was a soft bone in your childhood. Now, put down your head properly. And here, push back your fingers as far as possible. Please push back. This is very important. And now put a pressure on your scalp and move your scalp slowly 7 times clockwise. Here again, I respect your freedom. And I cannot force self-realization on you. So here you have to say 7 times, bending your head properly and pressing it hard, moving 7 times. Mother, please give me my self-realization. Please ask 7 times, please.
See, when you meditate, how do you meditate on different chakras?
Let's just sit for a few moments, enjoying that silence. where we've just had our hand pressing on our Sahasrara. Just try to keep attention on that area. And if any thought comes, just let it wander away. If you need to take your attention back up to the Sahasrara, the seventh center, and just using your right hand, raise up your energy through the center of your body, the central channel, just touching that top area then with your fingers. Taking your hand above, just see if you can feel a gentle flow of warm or cool air, which is your Kundalini. Even if it's just a few strands, you'll feel a slight sensation on top of your head. Keeping your attention there, bring the two hands open on your lap. So while we're in this nice, quiet spot, let's try to do our balancing, which we have done with you before. Just gently opening your eyes for a minute while we show you how to do that balancing. So we'll try to balance the left side of our nature, so our emotional past dwelling, by dropping the right hand towards the earth and just keeping the left hand open on your lap. And then you can just take your attention back up to the seventh center, and you can just ask the Mother Kundalini, the mothering energy that's all pervading around us, to please clear any excess emotion or anything from the past that's obstructing my journey to my spirit. Please absorb any excess of the emotions in me. So then the Mother Nature just absorbs and sucks out anything excess from our left side, from our past. You might feel a bit of a flow from the fingers down towards the earth. So again, your attention is up on top of your head. Just by asking yourself, what's happening on top of my head, that can take your attention back there. And now let's clear the busy side, the right side of our subtle system, by bringing that right hand back on our lap. So you're clearing the right side, so the right hand is on your lap, and then the left hand bends up, and so you're funneling out the heat from the right side into the atmosphere. So again, we take our attention back up onto our Sahasrara. You can either look towards the photograph of Shri Mataji, or you can close your eyes and keep your attention back up there on top of your head. What's happening on top of my head? And just allow the right side to be cooled down. Mother Kundalini, Mother Nature, please absorb any overactivity or heat from the right side of my being. Now bringing the two hands open on your lap. Again, seeing what's happening on top of my head. And again, just slowly opening your eyes. We'll just finish off this part of the program by an exercise we always do, which is to raise our Kundalini with our hands and place ourselves in the protective bandhan. So with your left hand raising up, the right hand winds around, so you bring it under and over. So your attention is on that left hand. And let's tie one knot to keep our attention up at our Sahasrara. The second time, for our second channel, 2 knots. And the third time, 3 channels, 3 knots. And with all those lovely vibrations you can feel now flowing, we'll do our protection, which is starting with our right hand from the left side. We'll go over our body and back. And for each of our chakras, we'll do 7 of these bandhans. Over and back is 1 bandhan. 3, 4, 5, 6 at the Agya, and the 7th one at the Sahasrara. And then you should be able to feel even more vibrations flowing. And we've got a short 7-minute video excerpt, which we also wanted to show you tonight, which is Shri Mataji talking about the Kundalini. And then maybe Gulshan, you'd like to take us in another meditation after that. All right, bear with me while I technologically exceed and excel. Right, now that is, I remember where it is now. Just make it bigger for us.
Now this Kundalini, the force within you, as is said, is pure desire. It's not only pure desire, but it is a purification desire. It has a power to purify. It's tremendous power it is. And this Kundalini thinks, organizes, knows, coordinates, blesses, and ultimately guides. So to go beyond the cause, we must understand that this Kundalini is the pure form. That means it is detached. Anything that gets attached is not pure. Anything that gets spoilt is not pure. What we say gold is pure because it is untarnishable. Untarnishable. That's the quality of gold. So it is immaculate. It cannot be ruined, spoiled by anything except that there could be khanda, as they call it, could be broken in between, and thus weak. So now something that has a purifying quality, like a purifying agent, say take a simple thing like soap. So the soap, wherever you apply, will clean. Kundalini, wherever it will go, it will clean, it will nourish. This is one quality that we must understand, that it is not tarnishable, it cannot be spoiled, it cannot be ruined. Moreover, it cleanses, it nourishes. But because it thinks, it knows how to nourish you, up to what point, how to go, how far to go, or it stops. But thinking is not vocal, it doesn't say anything. But when it goes around these chakras, it makes a sound. And these sounds are made because the movement of Kundalini through these chakras creates a non-percussion sound pass through these, creating sounds, and these sounds are then jotted down or heard by great saints and used in the phonetic language of Sanskrit. That's why Sanskrit is supposed to be the purest language. But you need not know Sanskrit now. There's no need. Because the deities know that you don't know the Sanskrit language. Now, this purifying fire within you, or the purifying force within you, or the power within you, goes and first of all enlightens our attention, which is in this part. As you see the green part, this is the attention is. But the movement of attention then starts moving in all directions. Now when your attention is enlightened, what we call, you become collectively conscious. But still, how do you go beyond cause and effect is the point. Now this Kundalini being pure, no cause can be attached to it. No cause whatsoever. So if you can enter into the Kundalini on the principle of it, no cause can get attached to it. That's how you go beyond cause and effect. But how do you enter into the Kundalini? That's the main point. Main problem is, how do we enter into the Kundalini? Supposing you are paying attention to me and I say pay attention to yourself, you cannot. Even if Kundalini rises, your attention is attracted inside, still you cannot pay attention inside. So how do you pay attention inside? Is through this enlightened attention. This attention, which is enlightened, has a power to take your attention inside to the Kundalini. And that's how you enter into the realm which is detached. That's like fortress. Nobody can enter in there. So when you are in thoughtless awareness, when you are not thinking, you are in your fortress, nobody can jump at you, nobody can trouble you, all the causes drop out. That is why it is necessary first to practice, to be in that thoughtless awareness through the practice of Sahaja Yoga to begin with. So that you learn how to enter into that state, how to enter into that state. But first and foremost thing is that your Kundalini must be awakened, then it must be allowed to move properly. You must cooperate, you must know how to do it and raise it so that you keep it at least, if not above, at least in the brain. But best thing is if it comes out, then you have no tensions, no worries, because everything that you have passes into your attention. Attention touches the Kundalini because you are a realized soul and leaves it in the force of the Kundalini, in the current of Kundalini, and this current takes away everything that is out. And that's how you are cleared. This is a very, very simple way of explaining how you go beyond cause and effect. And this is what happens. But for that, it is necessary that you must learn how to enter into your Kundalini, how to keep your attention enlightened. Now it's very easy. Your attention gets involved into anything through your thoughts. Because when your consciousness entered into you, being the prismatic plane, like a prism, your attention has gone out. Now to keep this attention detached, you have to make it a pure attention. To begin with, you must try to put attention inside, to be a witness. Try to be a witness. But how? How will you know that you are a witness? You have to be in thoughtless awareness. When you are in thoughtless awareness, then what happens? That you are detached. You are seeing everything. There are many people who talk about thoughtless awareness. You'll be surprised. I have heard some gurus, they might have, I don't know, because I went to America a long time back and they must have recorded it or whatever it is. They talk of it. But there isn't anything way of doing it. Kundalini is the only way you can go into thoughtless awareness, your attention.
So, shall we do it? Shall we have some thoughtless awareness to finish off?
So let's follow what Shri Mataji is trying to tell us to do is to try, and it's as easy as using our words to address someone within us, and that's all you have to do. Ask from your heart, with all your desire, and she understands, etc. So we did place a Kundalini London on with you a moment ago, so do that again. Hands in our lap. We're just going to mention inside. And Shri Mataji's photo if you wish, or close your eyes. We just ask Mother Kundalini within us. Mother Kundalini, please rise. Mother Kundalini, please rise. Mother Kundalini, please rise. Please tense my attention before all the thoughts. Please pull down my attention and take away the thoughts. Please purify any blockages or obstructions in my chakras. And please let me feel your presence on top of my head. So thank you that this body exercise that we did a moment ago, which is using our right hand, in one, and just raise it along the central channel with your hand, bring it up, the top of your head, and just release it there. So we do that 3 times. You can do that even more if you wish, as we're on down and up to that. So then just hands in your lap. Take your attention base of the spine, to your stomach, to your heart, raise it gently to the throat.
Sorry, Gush, I'm just trying to get your microphone on. Seems to be off.
Okay. Apologies for those. Should sound a lot better now. So we're just raising our attention. We bring it up through our stomach, our heart, bringing it through our throat, through our head, and raise it above your head and place it there. With our attention on top of our head. And here, just be aware that you will have thoughts come. Let the thought come, and you have to let the thought just slide by. So we're not going to let the thought take charge, and let's not expand the thought either. So let it come, let it go. And our attention stays on top of our head. Mother Kundalini, please let me be in a state of thoughtless awareness. Please let me be able to manage the thoughts. Keeping our attention on top of our head. While still keeping our attention on top of the head, let's just slowly open our eyes. And you're aware of the surroundings, you're aware of perhaps sounds around you. Keep your attention on top of your head and your eyes are open. You're watching things around you, but the attention is on top of the head. If you're not thinking, that is being in thoughtless awareness. This is where the meditation happens, and this is where the Kundalini sucks in our ego and superego and takes us beyond our thoughts and connects us to the divine energy. So you may feel a little bit of cool breeze on the palm of your hands, or warm or cool breeze on top of your head. If it's cool, that's great. If it's warm, that's okay too, because it's just cleansing and burning any negativity that we might have or any weakness we might have in our subtle system. So we might just check with our right hand You can hover your hand around and try and bring it where the fontanelle bone is. So this is where the fountain of our Kundalini rises and flows from the top of our head, and we are just feeling it. And we'll try and also feel it with our left hand now. So the easier way is to keep your hand on your head, and then just slowly raise up. See how you feel. And the reason why we're checking with both our hands is because you all have one side which is a bit stronger than the other, so it's good to try them both. And to finish up, let us first raise our Kundalini and place ourselves in Bandhan. So starting with the left hand, as it rises slowly, our attention is on the left hand, and bring it up to the top of our head, tip your head up, and we tie a knot. Let's do that again. Nice and slow. Bring it up to the top of your head, tip your head up, and 2 knots. For the 3rd time. Three knots. And then the bandhan starting from the left side with our right hand over the top of your head. And it's important to cover the top of your head down to right and back. That's 1. Let's do that 7 times in total. And this is for the 7 chakras we have in our subtle system. That's why we're placing it 7 times. So just see how we feel on our hands. If our participants online would like to let us know, we're very happy to hear. Meanwhile, John, how did you feel?
Surinder, how did you feel? Yep. Good?
Yeah.
Gulshan, how are you?
I felt it was a bit warm to start with, but then over the time, as I tried not to engage with the thoughts and let them slide, it started to get a bit cool flow.
That second meditation was
That
very
was a lot
strong. It
better,
was nice.
I
Yeah.
felt a little bit weaker in the left side initially, but then it sort of started to
Balanced
out
out.
a bit.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We women have more words to add than the men clearly in this room. Zed, what about you?
I'll see if our participants.
Okay. And that's just fine too, because as the Kundalini rises, and as she's just been awakened within you too, you had that last week as well, and this week will be slightly stronger experience. As she comes up, and if there's any obstruction or any blockages in your chakras, she's cleansing it. And so often we do feel the heat initially on top of our head, so that's fine. So the key is to try and practice that every day at home for a few minutes, that's all. Yeah, that's quite important. And that will be your homework too. Is there anyone online?
Yes, and I've given you the ability to make a comment. So if those of you on Zoom, if you want to ask a question or share anything, feel free. But otherwise, we will finish this session with a bit more music. And so if you want to meditate online, feel free. Oop, I'm going to get some music happening here. I'll put the volume down a bit so it's not too noisy. If I can find the volume. we can chat amongst ourselves while the music's on. Here, on the heart. The Kundalini, so it's a bit like this is a bit loud, isn't it? So it's a bit like I had a good visual for that.
I couldn't understand what she was saying. I would like it, but she was like
Yeah, yeah.
couldn't read it.
Oh, we should have invited you forward.
What said.
Yeah. So it's like, so you've got your Kundalini resides in the sacrum bone, and then you ask your Kundalini to awaken, and when she goes up through the central channel, she connects to the spirit. So it's a bit like the gas is the Kundalini coming up that gets lit by the spirit and comes up and connects to the all-pervading energy, which is, so Kundalini is a small bit of the all-pervading energy. And so then that self-realization is when your own Kundalini and spirit reside up here in this chakra here. But you're feeling it through your heart. So it's not a mental happening. Does that visual work for you? I mean, for me it's a visual.
It's a good example of the gas.
Yeah, you're lighting the gas.
Yeah,
the spirit is...
True, and the reason why, as Lynn said, you feel it through your heart is because each of the chakras that are in our subtle system, each one of those chakras has a seat on our head, and the heart happens to be situated here where the Kundalini comes out from. So when she rises out of her fontanelle bone area, that part is also connected here, and that's why you feel it on top. Yeah, here. So for instance, when if you're out for a walk or something and you watch the nature around you, and you just watch it like a screen, and if you're not thinking about it, analyzing, then you're in a witness state. And that's when then the Kundalini and the heart connect and allow it to expand. So the reason why we ask you to meditate, and there will be homework for you, which is to meditate every day. Because each time you meditate, sit down to meditate, you allow the Kundalini to rise. And each time she comes up, she's able to cleanse the chakras within us. But more importantly, each time that she's able to come up here, passing the thought process within us, she strengthens. Because when she connects with the cosmic energy, our mothering energy, which is a tiny, tiny thin piece of thread, starts to strengthen. So as we strengthen or allow our Kundalini to strengthen within us, she's able to cleanse us even more strongly and better. So that's just how it is. So when we ask you to please go and meditate 2-3 minutes in the evening, couple of minutes in the morning, it's primarily only to enhance and strengthen Kundalini within you. You can try your meditation without Shri Mataji's photograph and see how that works. Pardon? Oh,
Created
great.
your meditation space.
Impressive.
Excellent.
With
Yeah.
Shri Mataji's photo?
That's important to have a nice.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Excellent.
The reason why we strongly recommend is because Shri Mataji's Kundalini is so exceptionally powerful that it draws out all the rubbish out of our subtle system and cleanses us a lot quicker. So, very impressive, Zed. We're usually having to ask people 6 weeks, 7, how's it going?
Have you made your space yet?
Yeah.
So if you have any questions online, feel free to unmute on video and we'll definitely answer your questions. We've just been hearing from Zed, who's made his meditation space. So
Week 2.
Week 2, so you've all got to catch up.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just want to say hello.
Oh, hello. Who is that there?
That's
Who
all.
was
It was
talking?
just, it's Nellie. It was just disabled. So I just
Oh.
wanted to say hello, namaste, and
Hi, Nellie. Thank you.
hello. Thank you.
Nice to
That's
see
all.
you.
Where,
Yeah,
are you,
nice to see you both.
where are you joining us from, Nellie?
I'm from a very small country town. Do you know Mildura?
Oh,
Yes, yes. Near
Oh,
Milton.
I'm in, I'm in Derton across the river, about 20 minutes. So I say Mildura. So I'm in New South, just, yeah,
Nice.
across the way. And you are? Where are you?
We're in Canberra.
Okay, yeah. I'm just trying out different, I do meditate. I have for quite a few years, but just nice to try new things because I'm isolated.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's perfect.
it's beautiful. So,
Online.
thank you so much for your service. I do appreciate it.
Pleasure.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
So were you able to get thoughtless, Nellie?
Yeah, that's a big one, isn't it? The thoughtless, in the moment, the no mind, the somewhat.
For a moment, just a moment will do it. It refreshes you, and those moments grow.
Yeah, I've never really
Just to-
experienced Kundalini. I've done, healing hands, Reiki, but I've never explored it. So this is a first for me.
Okay, well, try it. Particularly that little routine we showed you, raising the Kundalini and putting on your bandhan. So you just need to do that to start your meditation, and do that to finish your meditation. So if you have a little practice in between your online sessions, then that experience will increase.
All right, beautiful. Thank you. It's quite a lovely gesture, even in itself. Yeah.
Excellent.
Great.
Nice to meet you.
You too.
Oh yes, yeah. The going through the self-realization steps, or the one where she was talking about the qualities of the Kundalini, the second one. So we've got them all on. We've got videos. Oh yes, of course.
If you have an email address, we can send
It
it
is.
to you.
It is. We can. It's on YouTube. So I can give you the details of that if you look on YouTube. Let me give it to you now, Zed. I can send it to you. Yeah. What's your That's your email, or otherwise I can message it to you. What's preferred?
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye, Nellie.
Bye, bye.
Thanks for joining. See you next time.
Thank you, kindly. Absolutely. Thank you. Bye.
Bye. No, that's all right.
Okay, well, what about email?
Email, yep.
Yeah.
Okay, let me put your email in here and my notes. Okay, so it's ZED at simandl.com.au. Oh, okay. ZED at simandl.com.au. Okay, and I'll send the Kundalini video.
That was a 7-minute one that Lily played. Yeah.
Video excerpt. It's an excerpt from a longer talk, so you can have the whole talk if you want. That one, yep. I'll send that. Yep, no problem. So if anyone online would like a copy of any of the... Oh, sorry, you were not able to hear me?
I think there's no one online.
Oh, I'm talking to no one. Well, thank you everyone for joining, and the YouTube people. We'll see you next week. And of course, also there is tomorrow night from Perth at 9 p.m.
Thank you.
I'll share the finishing screen.
perhaps we should also show Zen the foot sore technique next week.
That's a good idea.
It's another cleansing technique. It will be in your brochures, but we'll take you through it. Placing your feet in water. That's really, really beneficial. We do that every day, every day.